Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. With residents and businesses on the South Coast still reeling from the effects of the problems from the South Coast sewage project, officials of the Barbados Water Authority are confident that they have identified the main causes of the overflow, while cautioning it will not be an easy fix. Joining us live now to discuss those problems is Manager of the Wastewater Division of the BWA, Patricia Innes. Ms. Innes, good evening.
Hi, Shane. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to be here. And thank you for coming here because you just came out of the field and rushed straight to the studio. So can you give us an update? What have you found? Well,
as we said earlier this afternoon, as part of the preparing processes for the work we have ahead, which is to install a bypass, we had told Barbadians for a number of weeks now that we do have a block in the inflow line. There are two lines. There's one that goes into the plant and there's one that comes out that takes wastewater in. There's a block and that is causing a backup. But to be able to do that bypass, the thought was, of course, with consultants to do preparatory examinations. We told Barbadians that we were doing a dye test. It has started and we are actually still in the process of doing that. We go back to the site to see what is going on, and that is what's presently going on right now. We are hoping then in another few days to be able to effect that bypass. The consultants are in Barbados and the equipment is arriving, and it should be here, continue to arrive for today and tomorrow and into the next day, so that we can do that.
Okay, wonderful. So you're saying that you've identified the problem, you confirmed it now.
Yes.
What kind of money we're talking?
Yeah, we're talking money. But of course, the biggest concern right now is to be able to, as we say, scam the area. Barbadians are wary of the overflows and just want to be assured that we can have a handle on those overflows. We are attempting to do that by having the bypass, which would not only deal with the block, but we're hoping to find another problem, really a more concerning problem we identified and are reaffirming even as we speak here tonight.
Okay, so you've confirmed what the problem is, you know what it's going to cost, the consultants are here. We're talking about time frame now.
Yeah. Understand that this is a complex situation. It has many moving parts, and I want to just qualify it here. We have a lot of persons saying what is going on, it took an entire year. We have been doing a number of stages, a number of activities. We are now at this juncture. Whether it is were the persons, these present persons, we would still be at this juncture. The network has a lot of problems. One of the big problems that we identified even tonight, and we're identifying, there is a breach in the line going out. And that breach is spilling over into the line going in. It means then, of course, drainage to the plant is also impaired by that breach. And we've confirmed that again tonight. So that our phase one, which is what the consultants are here to do, that phase one is to allow for this bypass, to allow for the draining of the network. And therefore, at least, and I want Barbadians to understand that, because very often when something goes away, people think it is fixed. But if we can ensure or try to ensure that the lines are draining, it gives us time to start repair. It gives us time to sleep, and it also gives us time to look at other consultants and financing and other ways in which we can effect a repair, which is not going to take a week or two.
Okay. Ms. Innes, you are sitting on the side of the BWA. You know everything technical that's happening behind the scenes. The people in the area, they live in the area, they might be saying, as you said, they're saying it took over a year. They don't understand it like that, the way you are seeing it in terms of the technical aspect. What do you have in place for them any temporary relief? Because as far as they're concerned, they are uncomfortable and they want something to change. Well,
this is exactly it. The bypass is, we are hoping that does just that. Allows the network to drain, allows for the faster, freer flow around the block, so that the lines upstream from the area where we identified the block, the Worthing area, that can drain. When we get over this, when we get over at least the signs of the problems in the network, we also have to look at revisiting a lot of our businesses, a lot of our customers, to ensure that their connections are correct. There are a lot of opened junction boxes and a number of other things, which therefore allow a backflow into their properties. So we have to look at a lot of things. It is going to take a consistent effort. We apologize. We are sorry about the whole situation. And we're trying to mitigate as much as we can. We flush every morning. Between 4 and 7 every morning, we are flushing out there. So we try.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Chicken Barn says the jobs of its Hastings employees displaced because of the South Coast sewage crisis are secure, at least throughout the holiday season. This was revealed as the restaurant awarded winners of its Independence Treasure Hunt.
Speaking to the media at Chicken Barn's Wildy branch, Director Paul Hynum says the future of those 14 employees remains uncertain because of the sewage crisis.
So that was one of the considerations before we actually decided to close. What are we going to do with the 14 members of staff? We are relocating them to the other 5 locations until the end of December. Hopefully we will have this problem resolved by then so that we will be able to reopen to the public. We hope that we will not have to lay them off.
Mr. Hynum says that future depends on government's ability to swiftly acquire key pieces of equipment from overseas.
Last check was that it was still in Miami. Still in Miami, but it's on its way.
But while officials of the Barbados Water Authority are confident they have identified the main causes of the overflow, they're also cautioning it won't be an easy fix. Chicken Barn's sewage problems, however, did not spill over to its independence celebrations, as 3 of the restaurant's customers have been declared winners of its Independence Treasure Hunt. Today, one of them went home with $2,000 cash, and another with a 50-inch JVC television, compliments courts for 1st and 2nd place respectively. They were required to take pictures with a number of things indigenous to Barbados. 1st place winner Kayla Marshall and 2nd place winner Keegan Cumberbatch spoke about their experiences finding them.
The checking board, I reached out to a primary school, the Maria Holder Primary School, and the principal, she had an open day, and she welcomed me to come and take pictures and also see the display that the children had for the day. So it was good.
The back belly sheet was kind of difficult, but then when I met my dad, he told me that his neighbor, he actually keeps some in his yard. So he had like a good 8 or 9 in a pen. So this is perfect.
Before the competition, Director Paul Hyman said it was launched to present Barbadians with a needed distraction from the country's economic challenges. Now, his business continues to battle challenges of its own. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
The Royal Barbados Police Force is cracking down on illegal guns in Barbados. This morning, the force displayed the illegal firearms it has seized so far for 2017 at police headquarters. Senior Superintendent Calvin Bishop reported a 5% increase in crime for the same period last year. He said of the 7,882 crimes committed this year, 318 of them were committed with the use of firearms, including murder and robbery.
Our policing strategy to combat the use and possession of illegal firearms has been built on 4 planks, namely interdiction, enforcement, prosecution, and education. Our efforts to prosecute persons for firearm-related offenses has resulted thus far with 153 firearms-related offenses being placed before the law courts, compared with 133 for the year 2016.
Meanwhile, Acting Commissioner of Police William Yearwood said the Royal Barbados Police Force will enhance its visibility with the increased activity during the Christmas and tourist seasons.
On the ground, that's for patrols, mobile patrols. We also have joint patrols, police officers, coupled with members of Barbados Defense Force. We also have an island constabulary, which would be the members on the ground. There are also sector patrols, traffic wardens within the city, And our intention is to have wider visibility as well for motorcycle core.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
Hey there! Yes, you! Yes, Flow customers, you've topped up, signed up, paid your bill on time and in full. Now you can win over $250,000 in cash and prizes. It's time to play. Let's go Party Flow! You can win smart TVs, cell phones, cash, and more weekly. Visit www.discoverflow.co or see press for details. Cable and wireless terms and conditions apply.
A message that appeals to me the most is accepting the truth of who or what I cannot control places me in a powerful position to respond wisely versus react. This appeals to me because I can't go in the past and change what has happened already, so I should accept it and respond wisely.
The United Kingdom remains a major source market for Barbados, and this places the island in a prominent position as the only one in the Caribbean to have more British visitors than American visitors. Minister of Tourism and International Transport Richard Seeley says this is why officials are looking at creative ways to keep visitors coming from that market. He was speaking during the inaugural flight of Virgin Atlantic from London Heathrow to Barbados. The airline has added that flight to its winter schedule this year. It already operates flights from London Gatwick and Manchester airports. Minister Seeley says Barbados signed an updated air services agreement with the UK last February, and they're working to get even more airlift out of England.
Had some discussion some time ago with the Birmingham City Council. There's a big airport at Birmingham as well. A lot of people don't know in this part of the world, but the second largest city is in the United Kingdom is not Manchester. I know the football fans might be surprised to hear that, but it actually is Birmingham, which is, of course, a distant second to London, but is almost twice the size of Manchester in terms of population. And the city council there was interested in terms of working with us to see what airlift we can get from the Midlands as well. Again, looking for incremental growth.
Commercial Manager for the Caribbean, Andre Bellows, says they are happy about the partnership as it gives their customers more choice.
In as much as we're happy to add this additional capacity for the winter season, what we're really, really proud of is that people here and from the UK have a choice of 3 airports in the UK. London, Gatwick, Manchester, and now Heathrow. And I even forgot when I was talking about these 11 flights a week that we have coming now, that we have also 2 additional charter flights for air to sea, which makes it sometimes we have as many as 13 flights on the ground per week. And that's very exciting for me because as we develop as an airline, our only reason for being is to actually serve our customers, to understand that they each have unique needs.
CIBC First Caribbean says it's exploring a potential stock market listing of some of its shares on the New York Stock Exchange. The company's announcement followed a Reuters report today that the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce plans to list its US $2 billion Caribbean unit, First Caribbean, in New York. According to the Reuters report, it would enable CIBC to exit a region where earnings growth has been slow. The report adds that CIBC, which is Canada's 5th largest lender, will provide an update to investors on the bank's growth strategy tomorrow. However, in a media statement on the report this evening, CIBC First Caribbean says no decisions have been made. However, CIBC First Caribbean officials also note that a listing on the NICE would provide the company with access to a larger investor base and greater access to capital. Alumni of the Lodge and other schools across the island are being asked to help out their alma maters. The suggestion is coming from Education Minister Ronald Jones during a ceremony to name 2 new buildings after outstanding former Lodge students of the Lodge School. One of the 3, Owen Estwick, was present, while Major Sam Headley and Earl Glasgow, who passed away, were represented by family members. Minister Jones says the construction of the 2 buildings, a new auditorium and pavilion, cost an estimated $250,000. He added, while it was a worthwhile investment for government to make, former students also have a duty to help out the institutions that helped them to get where they are today.
We talk a lot. We do it in this country. We talk too much and do too little. We have to put some of our resources where our mouths are. Give up some of your resources to the school. Well, I'm about telling people, I don't mean you, I mean generally the Barbadians. Man, I love my school. Toilet bowls falling off, windows dropping out, paint crack up, and you want to go to faculty and buy a gallon of paint. It's a contribution to the school.
After the break, we'll take a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region.
Can you crack the Quartz code? Spend $799 or more and you could win $15,000. Check Quartz on Facebook and Instagram or your digital phone for your weekly Crack the Quartz code clue. Each week until December 22nd, you could get a chance to crack the same. But to crack the 3-digit code, you must know the clue. So listen out. Plus, the Quartz Crack the Code crew may be on the road near you, where you could win cash and prizes on the spot. Quartz, bringing value home.
It's Christmas time at Jordan Supermarkets. Shop today and enter their Spend and Eat competition. Just spend $50 or more in cash purchases and you could be a winner in the weekly draws or the grand prize draws in January 2018 at each location. 5 free $200 grocery shopping sprees each week and the final draw of $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000 and $1,000 from each location. Jordan's is giving away $100,000 in free groceries this Christmas. Come, spend and eat. At Caroland, we make the process of getting a loan simple, quick, and flexible. Our loans are straightforward and put you in control of your money. Just follow our 3 easy steps and you will receive a speedy answer to your loan request. We only lend to credit-worthy borrowers who are good with their money and can afford the loan payments without difficulty. Caroland is easy to use from the convenience of your laptop, desktop, or any mobile device. Join us today and get your simple, quick, and flexible loan at Caroland.
Dan is being praised tonight for adopting model guidelines for sexual offense cases. The guidelines were developed for the Caribbean region to boost and improve the treatment of these cases and complaints of sexual assaults. Kristen McLaughlin reports.
The launching of the model guidelines for sexual offense cases in Guyana less than a month ago is indeed groundbreaking, not only for this country, but the entire Caribbean, since there are no regional guidelines on sexual assault cases. That's according to Director of the Judicial Reform and Institutional Strengthening Jurist Project, Dr. Penny Reedy.
These guidelines are also timely when we look at the allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault in the political and the entertainment areas. So I do believe that these sexual assault guidelines are extremely timely.
Dr. Reedy, explaining more about the Jurist Project, said that the ultimate goal is to develop a regional judicial system that is much more responsive to the needs of women, men, youth, and the poor.
So the Jurist Project has been working for the last couple of years with judiciaries throughout the region to support their own efforts to improve court administration and to resolve cases efficiently and fairly. Our aim is to modernize and strengthen court systems, their processes and services, and to equip judicial officers and court staff with the skills and competencies necessary to deliver justice in a fair, predictable, efficient, and timely manner.
She added that gender equality must be integrated throughout the court systems, from filing of cases to case adjudication, since the work done in this area will be absolutely key to determining whether or not the Jurist project is a successful regional project.
We have developed gender equality protocols for magistrates and judges in Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago, and others are being developed for Jamaica, Guyana, and Belize. We have conducted gender equality and access to justice training sessions for the staff of the Caribbean Court of Justice. We've completed a sexual offenses baseline study in 5 CARICOM member states.
The Jamaica Police Service has been hit by a high number of absentees and is relying on the support of the Jamaica Defense Force to help maintain law and order on the island. Hundreds of police officers represented by the Police Federation reported sick yesterday amid ongoing wage negotiations with the government. The police are reported to have rejected the government's wage offer of 6%, with 4% in the first year and 2% in the second year. The law enforcement officials had originally been offered a 3% wage hike. The main opposition, People's National Party, has called on the Andrew Holness government to immediately settle the wage issues with the police and other public sector workers. Sports news is just ahead, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Always visit ATMs in populated areas, especially at night. This crime prevention tip is brought to you in association with the Royal Barbados Police Force.